So I wanted to give us enough time to, that's okay, get all of our questions in. So do we have any questions, Leanna, from our audience?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
The first question is, Dr. Crystal Pugh, what advice would you give young girls versus young women, such as in their early to late 20s, on how to find their purpose?
Number one, and this is for the younger women under 30, you meant to? I just want to because I was a little bit older. But in order to find your purpose, number one, we have to go back to God. And I want to put this out there. We made covenant with God before he put our moms and dads together, even before we were formed in our mother's womb. How do I know this? Because in the book of Jeremiah, God told Jeremiah, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. And I declared you a prophet to the nation. So that lets us know that before we were even created, that we made covenant with God. We told God yes about some things. And so when we came into this world, we're born in sin, shaped in iniquity. We went our own way. And so God had to create situations, sometimes bad situations, to get us to get on our faces, to cry out to him. So number one, you have to go back to the creator. Yes, we have pastors, we have parents, but God is the creator. You are designer's original. And so I implore you to pray and ask God, what is my purpose? And you'll begin to find out the very thing that you love, that you have a passion for. In that passion, that God gave you that passion, and in that passion and in that love, that is where God is going to use you. And then some of us, we have to go through some things. And like me, God turned my pain into profit. So this book brings me profit. And so God will use things that we tend to look at, oh my God, it's so horrible, I don't know that I can make it through. But God will use that in order to turn it into whatever he needs, whatever your purpose is in God. And we all have assignments. Hear me. I had no clue that I would be where I am today based on how I came up. But because God had to put me somewhere in order for me to cry out to him, that's when I began to say, you know what, God, you called me to preach the gospel. Not only that, God will give you dreams and visions of you doing things. And just to let you all know, I didn't come voluntarily. God came and got me involuntarily. And so even during that time, the Lord just began to show me dreams. I kept seeing me preaching. And I was like, Lord, I don't want to be a preacher. I kept rejecting him. I saw myself standing before crowds of people. And I was like, Lord, I don't want to do that. I want to do what I was doing. And I was in the world doing it, and I was doing it well. And so he will begin to, when you begin to ask him, he'll begin to show you dreams and visions. You'll begin to see yourself. And that is when you begin to walk in your purpose and understand your purpose and your destiny. And you also need to connect to men and women of God that have pure hearts that can also help push you into your purpose.
Absolutely. When you said it wasn't something I wanted to do, and that's what I was referencing to in the beginning, is you kind of feel this thing on the inside, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try to do, your call will draw you.
Yes,
you will feel that thing on the inside that you can't get away from. And I remember just finally accepting my call to ministry and saying, okay, God, I started singing and doing praise and worship in the church since I was 10 years old, and that wasn't the full call, but I was okay right there. And that's one of the things I want to share is sometimes we will get to just a certain level, and the enemy is okay with you just being at that place and being complacent and not getting all the way to that real place that he's calling you to go. So that's the other thing. If you are operating in a certain area, however, you start to feel that there is more, don't be afraid to launch out in the deep, because your purpose and destiny getting there is in stages. Have you experienced that?
I have. I have. And you have to be very aware too, because the only thing that can stop you from walking in your purpose is familiarity. Because we are afraid to tap into untapped places. We're afraid to tap into the unfamiliar because we're so used to this, or so used to this person, or so used to this thing, that it keeps us from moving into our new. So that's one thing we have to be mindful of. And when the old keeps showing up, that's a sign to you that you need to really be moving forward.
Right. You think about a child that's in school. No child stays in the kindergarten until they're 18 years old.
No.
But they progress. They go to the next level. You're an educator, Ms. Pierce. If you have a child and he's still in the same grade 2 or 3 years, there's a problem. And the entire school district starts to look at it and say, hey, what can we do to get you on track to where you're a retired educator. Exactly. So for, a child to stay in the same grade, and that's how we have to do in life. As we grow, as we mature, even different parts of our purpose, we're supposed to go to the next level.